Instead of having many gods like Hinduism, he rejected it. Instead, he taught a way of enlightenment. We met Master V.Shantha. He was kind enough to help us and answer our questions relating to Buddhism. He also accepted the cycle of the world, where the world is created and destroyed over and over again.
Buddhism, practiced by 488 million people all around the world. But what is it really? To first understand what Buddhism really is about, we have to understand the backstory. A man by the name of Siddhartha Gautama, born about 563 BCE, is responsible for the finding of Buddhism. He became unsatisfied with his life of comfort and decided to take up the life of a monk after witnessing a sick man and a corpse to understand the phenomenon of suffering. And so he left about 534 BCE to lead the life of a holy man. He wandered throughout the Ganges Valley, looking for spiritual enlightenment and the answer for suffering. Then one day he sat under a bo tree and decided that he would remain there until he understood the problem of suffering. He remained under that tree for 49 days in meditation while being tempted by various demons that presented him with pleasures and terrors to shake his resolution. They eventually withdrew, and Gautama received enlightenment. He finally understood the problem of suffering as well as how humans could eliminate it from the world. After this, Siddhartha Gautama became Buddha, the enlightened one.
Buddhism developed out of Hinduism's parallel beliefs. They both see religion as a way of liberating the soul from the illusions, disappointments, and mistakes of everyday existence. Both of these religions were founded on the questions: what is the nature of reality? What is morality? Is there eternal life? What is the soul? Like Hinduism, the Buddha accepted the ideas of reincarnation. He also accepted the cycle of the world, where the world is created and destroyed over and over again. Instead of having many gods like Hinduism, he rejected it. Instead, he taught a way of enlightenment. The final goal for both religions are similar, both involving a perfect understanding of life and suffering, and a break from the chains of incarnation.
The movement of Buddhism benefited from the official patronage and support from the first emperor of the Mauryan dynasty. Legend has it that a devoted Buddhist monk brought upon his conversion by granting him supernatural powers. But we later found out from his early edicts that he adopted Buddhism about 260 BCE after the War of Kalinga, where he killed around 100,000 people. He later decided to pursue his aims henceforth by means of virtue, benevolence, and humanity rather than arms. Ashoka encouraged them to spread their faith throughout India. He built Buddhist monasteries and stupas. He also sent missionaries to Bactria and Ceylon, thus inaugurating a process in which Buddhism attracted a large following in Central Asia, East Asia, and Southeast Asia.
We visited the Shanti Niketanaya Buddhist Center, where we met Master V.Shantha. He was kind enough to help us and answer our questions relating to Buddhism.
So why do monks wear the robe? And there's like different colors. Does that have any symbolism?
The robe from the ancient time, this like if you see the Greek history, so like that, this robe come from that era. In the beginning, they made the robe out of the cloth that you throw away. When you wrap the dead body and when you throw it away, you take out that cloth. The cloth is a kind of like a passion that you introduce yourself, and it makes us more humble person. Most of our lifestyle depending through the mastering our own character. But the colors represented the impermanence and the harmony of the nature. The tree leaves and the most of flowers, when they are ready to die, it become like this color. It's representing always the impermanence, letting go.
What is nirvana?
That's the biggest question everyone like to know. Okay? So before this the thing, before you go to recognize what is nirvana, you have to recognize what is life. Because without recognizing what is life, you cannot understand what is nirvana. Okay? So when it comes to life, what is the life? What is life mean? Whatever the information that you collect through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind is your life. So when you detach the information that you collecting and holding as you, through whatever the information come through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, if you not able to hold it and keep it as self, and that is where you're going to see what is nirvana. It's like from the bottom of the mountain, if you ask what is the landscape, you cannot see. Okay? But when you climb the mountain, when you go to the top of the mountain, you no need to ask what is landscape look like. Huh? Itself going to see. So like that, when you recognize the nature of the life, that recognition going to show you what is nirvana. Understand?
Yeah.
What impact does the Eightfold Path have on your daily life? Does it come into play in your decision making?
Of course, Eightfold Path, it's always talking about how to live right. Okay, this is the struggle most of time. I like to do whatever I want, you like to do whatever you want. Maybe what you like, I'm not going to like. But for both of us, the right going to be the same. So in the Eightfold Path, if you look very carefully, all the bodily, verbally and mentally action, and not harm to you, not harm to me, and when it comes without greed, hatred or the delusion, it's going to be.
The rites of marriage and death are like a significant part of most religions. So how does that play into Buddhism?
So the death is a part of life. Okay? As example, look, when we come out of the mother's womb, we are just small babies. But where that childhood today? How you became like this teenage? Because it's already that childhood died. It is a process. If you didn't die as a child, you cannot become like this. A human being can become animal can become human being. And it's a transforming, existence to existence.
How big a part does meditation play in the Buddhist faith? Is it daily activity or reserved for special occasions?
It's the foundation. Meditation is help us to clear our mind. When the mind become clear, all the perception come to us going to become very clear. So in the Buddhism, its main thing is the understanding. So understanding through your own mind. So then you have to uplift your mental capacity to certain level to recognize certain things. Mind is always collecting information. Because of that huge, that amount of information, what is happening, we lose the truth of the life or the nature of the life. So then we have to clean it very well. Like as example, you have computer. So once a while you clear the history. When you clear the history, your system become fast. So if you clean a lot of things, your mind going to become better. So the meditation is a kind of like that. The 50% of our whole practice based with the meditation, and other 50% based with the understanding.
So what practices have changed between early Buddhism and Buddhism today?
In the early Buddhism, it was only the self-understanding. Buddha always tried to teach to people to recognize who we are, who I am. But later what happened, the culture start to establish and develop. All over the world, there are many cultures, according to their tradition, there are many cultural activities now start to came to Buddhism. And on the way what happened, some people, they miss the original part of the self-realization and they start to see the culture as the Buddhism. Okay? Another part is the study part. So in academical level, as a subject, people start to study Buddhism. So self-realization and the culture, and now study. They take the Buddhism as whatever they study. So those are the three pillars that today what we can experience. But mainly what the Buddha mentioned, self-realization. That is the most important part. Right?
Is there life after death?
Life after death.
Yes.
Don't think just stopping the dying this body, don't think that process is going to end. No, it's like the rain, it's like the wind. Maybe the season change. You cannot see the winter here today. That doesn't mean winter not going to come. There are few questions. Who I am, why I came here, what I do, what is my purpose, where I go after I die, what will happen. Those are In these human civilizations, every time this happens. Even in the future, this is going to happen. You know why this question come to us? Because we don't recognize who we are. When you are able to recognize who you are, these all the questions, you will find answers.
So, I read somewhere recently that we keep reincarnating over and over again, but how do we become new people?
You have a higher purpose. That higher purpose always will uplift your life. Okay? That's the important thing. When you just live like an ordinary person, your life going to be the same every day. But when you have a higher purpose, that higher purpose always should be to contribute something, not to accumulate. When you have a higher purpose to contribute something, it always change your life and it uplift.
I see.
Buddhism is much more than just meditation. It's a way to reach enlightenment. It focuses on the path to understanding the true nature of reality, which makes it appealing to those searching for enlightenment. It's a way of achieving the perfect understanding of life and achieving nirvana.